It's green for go. They're racing.
He says go. He says ta-da. And Tiger Tara rolls away from them on the home turn.
Here comes another big boil over.
Equine athleticism at its best. The king is in the castle once more.
This is in one race. The rest are almost in another postcode.
She is a star with a capital S. It's going to be a triple treat, a miracle three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history here at Menangle. What about that?
It's getting right up on the sprint lane and it's going to Balti.
Hello, welcome to the Sunday session. This is a podcast for Harness Racing New South Wales, all part of the Sprint Lane podcast series. My name is Greg Hayes. It's great to have your company again this week. 2 rounds of heats of the Inter-Dominion have been completed, so it is on to the final next Saturday. The barrier draws were conducted at midday on Sunday, and today's episode is a little bit late as a result, so I could make sure I had those barrier draws as part of the podcast. If you have missed the Pacers and Trotters draws, here they are. In the Pacers, barrier number 1 was Leap to Fame, so that's going to make him even shorter, or there might be a few that can... or would attempt to dash him at the start. Rikiro Rebel in 2, Speak the Truth 3, See Ya Art 4, Pete Said So 5. Now, just on Pete Said So, 19th horse to start in 4 Inter-Dominions since the race was first run in 1936. Have a listen to the other 18 horses. We are talking about top ones. And look, I'm not saying Pete Said So is up with this ilk in terms of ability, but the record of getting into 4 Inter-Dominions is something special. The other horses that have done it, Black's a Fake, Blossom Lady, Caduceus, Captain Sandy, Evicus, Kiwi Dylan, Mr. Feelgood, House of Ancelot, Paleface Adios, Pure Steel, Recovered, Robin Dundee, Royal Care, Shaker Maker, Smokin' Up, Village Kid, Washaki, Welcome Advice, and you can now add to that list Pete Said So to race in 4 Inter-Dominion Grand Finals. Well done to the team. Gate 6, Don Hugo. 7 is Catch a Wave. Nyack, the first emergency, drew the inside of the second row, barrier 8. So if he doesn't get a run, Captain's Knock draws barrier 9, but will start inside second row on the back of Leap to Fame. 10, Tim's a Trooper. 11, Max Delight. 12, Sure Thing Captain. And 13, Eroda. That's the barrier draw for the Inter-Dominion Pacers. For the Trotters, RC Phoenix has drawn 1, Love Gun 2, Surf Fahrenheit, the first emergency, drew 3, Parisian Artiste drew 4, Bet and Win 5, 6 Not As Promised, 7 Golden Sunset, back row 8 Constantinople, 9 Harry Stamper, 10 Zealous Spur, 11 London to a Brick being OD, 12 Oscar Bonavina, OD, and 13 Gus is RODM right outside the draw. So they are the draws for the 2025 Inter-Dominion Grand Finals. First things first, how well is New South Wales represented? Not surprising, really, but 12 in the Pacers final, and 5 of them from New South Wales. Don Hugo, Pete Said So, See Ya Art, Captain's Knock, and the old boy Max Delight. The Jimmy Rattray trained Nyack first emergency as well. In the Trotters, we weren't as well represented overall, but New South Wales still managed to get 2 horses through to the final, with London to a Brick and Constantinople getting through. Now, looking back on Saturday night, I'll deal with the Pacers first. Leap to Fame made mincemeat of his main rival Don Hugo in the second heat of the night, and look, it gave the middle night of the series a bit of spice with the 2 big guns of the series competing against one another, but it also confirmed what most had been thinking. This is a one-horse series. Interesting to hear the comments of Sky presenter Mark Ulmer straight after the race during the coverage on Saturday night on Sky 1. Yes, I know there was a team of experts dissecting all of the races on track, headed up by Brittany Graham, but Mark's comments were telling. Mark's one of the better hosts at Sky, and he's got a good knowledge of racing. He was there when I was there up until 2019. He would say he's no harness expert, but his comments showed me what people in the pubs and clubs may have been thinking after the race. He said something along the lines of Grant Dixon outdrove Luke McCarthy in the event. I'm not so sure that's how it was. Watching the race, I thought in the early stages, Luke had driven the perfect race. He got to the death seat. Leap to Fame stablemate Eroda is in front, and Luke had set up to control the race from the chair. Leap to Fame was third over. Even Chris Barsby thought Dixon would go early in the race. He said it in the call that Dixon was about to move on Leap to Fame, and he didn't. He sat there, which meant Luke was controlling that race from his spot. if Leap to Fame did come around, Luke effectively could apply pressure to a rotor, roll to the top, park Larry. If he felt the need, he had the option of letting Leap to Fame roll past him, and he could sit on the champ's back until the sprint lane. But what cruelled Luke was the decision by Johnny Cox on Pinseeker to move from the 1-1 and push to the top. That horse was over racing off the back of a slow tempo, and if you watch the replay, Luke was copping a head massage from Pinseeker due to the slow speed. So the speed goes on, Pinseeker takes off, and all of a sudden Don Hugo, who was controlling the race, now has Harness Racing's Apex Predator on his back, and he's no longer dictating the speed, and he's forced to chase that tearaway. Leap to Fame strode past his rivals down the back straight, and in the end, he won as he liked, and looks like he'll win the final two. Adam Hamilton quoted Luke McCarthy after the race saying, Don Hugo had a gut buster, which isn't ideal, but he's fine. We move on to next week. So yes, maybe on paper, when a $1.60 favourite beats the $2.30 second favourite by 28.4 metres, it suggests one driver has outdriven the other, but I think Luke had a plan that worked out perfectly until all of a sudden it didn't, if you catch my drift. Heat 4, won by Sure Thing Captain. Had to win after the run he got in front. Max Delight was brave. I thought he might have been actually in a bit of trouble on the home turn. He just seemed to lose his position, but once he got a bit more room, he came again. He was able to hold off the rest. Tim's a trooper for Grant Dixon, ran a good race. And what about the 9-year-old? Pete Said So for Kerry Ann and Robbie Morris. He did a good job to get fourth and book himself a ticket to the final. He's a great advertisement for the sport. He's a 9-year-old that had more than 200 starts in his career. He came out of the ready-to-run sales that were held for a couple of years there at Menangle. Used to go on a Sunday, watch them all compete, and then they'd go through the sale ring in the afternoon. Actually ran third at his first race start in the ready-to-run stakes. He was trained by Shane and Lauren Tritton at the time and driven by a very young Lockie Manselman. The horse was moved over to Kerry Ann in mid to late 2019. I think Shane and Lauren headed to the US around that time, and he has just been so good for his owner, Pete Coldsdorff. Lovely bloke. Met him a long time ago in Canberra. He's associated with Pete's Golf Connection, popular golf store in Canberra at the time. He loves his harness racing. And to see one that he bought at the ready-to-run sale still going 7 years later with more than $500,000 in the bank is a true testament to the breed. Sixth and final heat was won by Speak the Truth, which gave Shannon Price a double. I'm assuming with both Shannon's horses getting through, Cam Hart will pick up the drive after he drove Sure Thing Captain in the first round of heats when the stablemates clashed. Captain's Knock got some mid-race cover from Classy Washington, which helped him save some fuel for the late dash. He was good, off a tough draw to finish second, and See Art flashed home for third to give Kerry Ann and Robbie a second runner through to the final. In the Trotters, Bet and Win went back-to-back in the heats after taking a sit on London to a Brick. London to a Brick was no match for Bet and Win in the straight, and the Rattray-trained horse has it all before him as he's that outside drawer in the final. And the last heat was won by Parisian Artiste, beating RC Phoenix. Oscar Bonavina scraped through to the final after galloping early. Bonus points got him through. Not a huge fan of bonus points, but I guess when you reduce the number of heats to just 2, you have to give a horse a chance to pick up something extra if they do make a mistake, which is what happened with Oscar Bonavina. And let's be honest, we do want to see the best racing the best when we get to the final. That just whet the appetite for the Protostar, the Queensland slot race for the 2-year-olds. There was carnage at the start when a Tour Magic galloped and took out Fire and Passion and the race wave Cardigan Dan with it. Dynamite Dan galloped on the home turn after he looked to be bolting, and Rewatch went up in the air as well. In the end, it was the Emma Stewart-trained Loucasso for Summit, Bloodstock and Aaron Bain Racing that won the race. Ark Sea for Sam Hewitt ran second. Great result with Will Rixon in the sulky. Well done to Sam. New South Wales dominated the back end of that card too. Al Luciano won the Kevin Thomas, the 4-year-old feature. Nice drive by Rattray. Saw it beat the Janitor and Glitter Ain't Gold. It ran a cracker to finish third. I wonder how many Eureka horses went around in that event. You'd have to think Al Luciano is guaranteed to pick up a spot somewhere. Glitter Ain't Gold would have to be on the radar. And I wonder whether Bay of Biscay performing so well as a 3-year-old last year, whether we see a few more of this season's 3-year-olds earmarked for a spot in the race. My coverage of the Eureka, it's going to heat up after the Inter-Dominion series is over, that's for sure. I Keep Smiling won the Fleur de Lille for Luke McCarthy. Wow, she had to do it tough after being caught wide, and she still proved too strong. She just knows where the line is. Gutsy win, top mare. our GOAT won the last for Bernie Hewitt. Huge night for the Blues, getting one back on the Maroons after the State of Origin during the week. Closer to home, at Menangle, I hoped everyone copped the tip from Matt Rue on the podcast last week. He said Hypoactive was the best horse he'd driven in a long time when he joined me last week, and then that horse came out and won last night for Brad and Dave Hewitt. Scott Hewitt won the second, so a huge night for that branch of the Hewitt family after Sam's second placing in the Protostar. You Bet Your Tiger Pie won the free-for-all again. Gunner Reload was impressive with regular driver Will Rixon in Queensland. I'm Bobby destroyed them in the trot. Double Fear won the last for Josh Gallagher and Steph Morris. Great night of racing at both venues and a lot to unpack. My guests this week, I'm going to talk with Robbie Morris today on the podcast. Huge effort by the stable to get two horses through to the final. Kanina Problema wasn't too far away either. So I'll talk with Rob. Jamie Durnberger-Smith is going to join me from Summit Bloodstock. Summit race Loucasso. Now, last year, Summit and Aaron Bain Racing bought 18 yearlings. They spent just over $1 million and offered micro shares in all of them. I think it was $10,300 for 1% of all 18 horses, or for 0.1%, just over $1,000. Now, look, owning a micro share, it's not going to make you rich, but it isn't going to bankrupt you either. If you'd bought into those yearlings, you've won the Protostar with Loucasso. I think of 18, 4 have raced to date. You've obviously got Loucasso. Dagama Teal won the APG at Melton. Frolic Near the Sea finished third in the Nutrien final. Opened the Gates, won the Kindergarten Stakes in South Australia recently. So the 4 to the track have all had success. Big night for Jamie, and he's going to join me. And Will Rixon will speak with me as well after his night at the office at Albion Park. A second on Max Delight, second with Ark Sea. Will can provide an update on Gunner Reload as well. Now, I caught up with Will on Saturday night after the races because he was flying back Sunday morning when I was going to do the interview. So you'll hear Will and I referring to tonight, just to make it a little bit clearer for those who might be a little bit confused. Huge podcast. Let's get into it. First up, Rob Morris. Well, what a performance by the Morris stable to get Pete Sedso into his 4th Inter-Dominion. He becomes just the 19th horse in Inter-Dominion history to achieve that feat. We're going into the real royalty of the sport. Horses like Blossom Lady, Caduceus, Mr. Feelgood, Paleface Adios, Pure Steel. Just some unbelievable horses that have raced in 4. And Rob Morris is joining me to have a chat. Hey, Rob, how are you?
Good, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
Mate, what an achievement by the stable to get this horse through to his 4th Inter-Dominion final.
Yeah, it's been a massive team effort, obviously. Nigel wouldn't be where he is today without the efforts of a lot of people around it. And it's a great achievement. And just hearing you roll off that list of horses that have done it, it's I'm pretty proud of him to be alongside those sort of lists. It actually makes you a little bit emotional, really, because he's no superstar. He's just a little engine that could. And he just keeps turning up, and to have him in the list of those 19 horses, it's pretty cool.
So, what's the story with him? Because he obviously just keeps going and going, and he likes racing and races extremely well.
Yeah, look, he's obviously he's got a pretty strict training regime, Nigel, and Kerry does a super job. She looks after all the little 1%ers with him, and obviously, with his age, he's going to have a few little bumps and grazes here and there, but she seems to stay on top of them pretty good, and his workload's pretty good. Josh does a lot of work with him at home as well. So obviously, I don't work him every day. Josh does a fair bit with him, and the whole team around it. We couldn't do what we do. It's a family affair there at Lucky Lodge, and we couldn't do what we do without a lot of people around him. So he keeps it pretty simple, Nigel. He just likes. Obviously, the word Nigel he keeps to himself, but no, he's pretty cool.
What about Pete Koldsdorf, his owner? He's been happy to ride the wave as well.
Look, Pete's been probably instrumental with him. There's obviously been times where Pete's wanting to go forward and I've been wanting to go back, and we've got to sort of pick our battles with him. But Pete's been great. He's been a great supporter of Lucky Lodge, and we can't thank him enough.
He drew barrier 5 in the barrier draw. Happy with that? I guess it's not great when Leap to Fame draws 1.
Yeah, look, it's not ideal. We sort of look at it this way, and you can't have everything. Barrier 5's great. We're there, and we'll just see how it rolls from there.
What about Art? You must be tickled pink with how well he's going.
Yeah, his runs have been super. He's been going great. So Barrier 4 suits him. He's got a bit of temp, bit of speed early too. So he might be able to get across somewhere handy, and Josh will be on him. So looking forward to it.
So how was that decision made?
Look, we'll just let it be. Obviously, Alicia, Josh's wife, owns Art. It could have went both ways. I don't think either party would have minded if I drove one or the other, or Josh drove one or the other. So I haven't even spoke to the guys at home yet, but I'm pretty sure that's how it'll go.
Art ran an incredible race last night, went to get home for a place.
He did. He went super. He had a great trip. 4 fences, probably where he lives, and obviously it's a great spot to be at these 1,000-metre tracks. And is absolutely super.
So what were you just hoping that the gate would open, or the spot would open for you so you could dash through, because he looked to be travelling so well?
Yeah, there wasn't a hell of a lot I could do. I just had to let it open up and see how it played out. In the end, it played out perfectly. We had to run top 3, and we did. So it just worked out good. But he's been a great buy for Josh and Alicia, and he's been ultra consistent. I haven't won a race with him yet, but he seems to just keep earning little checks here and there. So it's now, obviously, he's a great team effort too, so it's a credit to the whole team to have 2 in the one race.
You've seen Blacks of Fate. Is Leap to Fame the best horse you've ever seen?
Yes. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't think I'll see one as good as him, and I don't think I've seen one as good as him. So, yeah, I'd say that for sure.
All right, and just quickly, Dangerous Threats winning for the team last night at Menangle. Good to see Kerry being able to get winners, or to get horses performing in both states.
Yeah, it was. It was great. It was a great night for the team, and he's been a headache. He's had a few little things not go right, and I probably didn't drive him all that great. A year ago in the red and the blue, and I probably overdrove him, and I think it took him a fair while to get over it, and I'll probably have to cop that one on the chin for some time. But credit to Kerry, she's persisted, and she's got him back to doing what he can do, so it was good to see. So, yeah, it was great to see the team get a winner at home.
Well, mate, I know you're at the barrier draw function. I thank you for joining me today, and all the best of luck next week.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Sure Thing Captain waved them goodbye, 26-7 off the back, and he opened up into the home straight. Margin is 8 metres. Max Delight battles away. Tim's a trooper. I break the line. Pete said so late. Sure Thing Captain easily. Again, Captain in command. Sure Thing Captain, Max Delight.
A couple of second placings for Will Rixon, but important second placings tonight. Max Delight finishing second in a heat of the Inter-Dominion, and then, of course, in the Protostar, we saw Ark Sea finish second for Sam Hewitt and Will is joining me to have a chat. Hey, Will, how are you?
Hey, Hazy. Yeah, I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
Mate, really well. Good night at the office, and I think you'd have to be happy going to the races and picking up a couple of important placings.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually ended up with a few seconds yesterday at Wagga, and I was a little bit frustrated. I could have been, obviously could have been, you get a bit frustrated sometimes when you get close to winning and not quite getting there, but I don't know if I've ever been happier to run second to 9 in them 2 races, the way they performed, and just on obviously such big races and such great horses. Very very happy and very fortunate to be in this position.
So going in to drive Max Delight, and it was the first of the heats for the night. So I guess it's hard knowing how many points you're going to need. So what were your plans going into the race? I guess we've got to bank as many points as we can after he's 4th in the first round of heats.
Yeah, for sure. Just, not overthinking it. Was, I said to Kim, I really just wanted to drive the race off the tempo of, I would have liked to get him into the race, but I just thought it was important to do it at the right time. And the lead time was really slow, and there wasn't much speed at all around the first turn. So I elected to cover Whisper a Secret's wheel to just stop it from going in front of me and getting around there nice and early. And worked out really good. He got there, really cheap, and he was very gallant to still kick on again in the straight when the pressure come down the back. So. We're really hoping we could, run top 4 or better, and he never lets us down. He's just a great horse.
26-7 that third quarter. I must admit, watching it, I'm thinking, I don't know. Is Max travelling? Is he in a bit of pain? But once he was able to get around the turn, he seemed to come again.
Yeah, he just we hit that turn pretty quick and sort of whisper a secret, just stuck in a bit as we hit it, and I was just had a bit of an eye on Pete McMullen's wheel to make sure it didn't get in under mine, and we weren't going to lock wheels or anything, and it just got a bit tight there for a bit, and I waited for the pull downs to pull them as we sort of got a little bit more room as we were coming into the straight, and once I pulled them and balanced up and switched him back to the inside, he sort of went again and still found the line really strong.
So what have you made of his Inter-Dominion campaign? 4th on night 1, 2nd night 2. Are you happy with where he's at?
Well, to be honest, I don't think he could have gone any better. Like, he drew outside the front the first night in against Sleep the Fame. His last half was terrific. He went really well, and tonight he drew 12. So, outside the front and then outside the back, and so to still get as good as points to get in the final, we just hope that we can get them bad draws out of the way and get a draw for the final. And the 3,000 metres is really going to suit him, and just really excited to have him in there.
How does he feel in himself? Is he feeling $1 million? Because I know there was talk of a little setback going back a month ago or so. Is he feeling $1 million?
Yeah, he is. That's why Aki's he's a living legend and Hall of Fame trainer for a reason, and he just keeps him fresh. He keeps him happy, and you go out and he shies at everything on the track, and he's nice, sound and free in the warm-up, and if you ask him to quicken up a bit, he does it without any real urgings. He's just I'm very grateful to be able to drive a horse like him. He's just an amazing horse, and full credit to Aki to have him just so consistent at this top level and have him racing as well as he does. It's a real credit to him.
What number into Dominion will this be for you?
Well, I was in the pacing and trotters last year, so 3rd one, which is exciting.
Mate, well, all the best of luck next week. Now, tell me about Ark Sea, because your connection with Ark Sea is a good one. You've driven her on 2 occasions for that massive win at Bathurst, and then comes out and runs an absolute cracker tonight in the Protostar.
Yeah, wow, what a filly! I'm amazed with how good she went. She didn't, completely surprise me. She felt like she did that race at Bathurst, on her own esteem, and wasn't really fully tested. And it's so hard to be the only filly up against the best 2-year-olds in Australia, take on the boys, but had that little bit of unknown of how good she is going into the night, because she hasn't really been asked. So I think she showed everyone how good she is tonight. She's in such an exciting filly. It was a huge buzz.
What happened at the start? Did you see what was going on inside you, or did you have to change your mind or change your plan after you noticed what had gone on inside you and all those horses were out of play?
Yeah, well, sort of Sam and I spoke about it and didn't look an ideal draw, but sort of mentioned as a 2-year-old race, there's a few there that are still, lightly raced, and so we wanted to come out for 100 and just to see what happened, and she just come out so well, and obviously I looked across to see Bill Grunt a chance to getting to the fence. I wanted to be first there, and then as I was sort of coming across, Cuda Magic jumped it off, and I didn't really see what happened, but I definitely heard it. There was a fair bit of carnage, but I sort of just focusing on her, and then once we got to the fence, which she did a fair bit of work to get there, the right horse come to sit on, and I couldn't believe how good she was travelling around the bend. I was just full of running, and it's a shame that horse had such a great kick home.
Did you think you were some sort of hope at the top of the straight?
Oh, I was travelling so well around the bend. I just didn't want to get to it too early. I wanted to wait to the top of the straight and have her up ready to go. And she couldn't have been travelling any better. She still found the line terrifically. Like, I think the leader got home in 26.4, and she took ground off it. So she sectionally couldn't have went any better. And it's only a 3rd race start. It's quite incredible, really.
The times that these 2-year-olds are running now, like 1:51.6 for the mile over the short trip there at Albion Park. But on a it's not Menangle. It's a fast track, but it's not Menangle, and they're just running the hands off the clock.
Yeah, it's incredible what they can run, and it's even the 2-year-old boys are on that, let alone a 2-year-old filly. It's incredible. So it's full credit to Sam and his family to have her in such great condition tonight, and very grateful that I was able to give him an opportunity to drive her.
So what's the plans? As Sam said, what he's going to do, I'm assuming you're going to do everything you can to stay aboard.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I'm probably a little bit lucky. Brad drove her first start, but he had rewatch, and I know Dave's got a pretty good filly in Sparkling Sea that runs second in the Tiara. So obviously I'll leave that up to Sam and the owners, but it's just happy to be on tonight. But yeah, I think her next big target will be the Breeders' Challenge, which will few months away. So that will be our last strongest preparation, and then I'm sure that will be our next target.
Now, while you're at Albion Park, I've got no doubt your eye would have been on the Sky Monitor when Gonna Reload went around in race number 6 at Menangle. Amanda Turnbull drove for your dad. What did you think of the performance off the screen?
Yeah, I was sort of not far off going to the parade ring, but from what I've seen, she looked, was sharp and hit the line really well, and she looked nice and happy bowling along there in front. So just exactly what we wanted to see, really, to bring a confidence to throw on the float and bring her up here next week. So very excited. Amanda did a great job looking after her, and it's a bit of a strange feeling not watching her. I've driven her the whole way through, and I didn't felt a little bit funny to not be driving her because she's our favourite horse. But very excited to see her win and win the way she did.
So did she have to win tonight to book herself a spot to Queensland?
It was always the aim. She was third up in the big bracelet when she won, and she raced 6 days before that. So Dad set out a plan to give her every opportunity to go into hopefully the Oaks third up, and picked out 2 perfect races for her in the lead up. So I think she would have had to go on really good to bring her. It's obviously such a strong fillies group, but we know she's really classy filly. She's got a great record. She's beaten, the top fillies before, so you only get one crack at it, and we're excited to give her a chance.
Well, next week's going to be big for you. You're driving in the Inter-Dominion, you're driving in the Oaks, and you're going to drive in the Derby as well, because See the Stars, the horse you drove last week to victory in the South East Derby, will go to the Queensland Derby as well. What did you make of See the Stars last week?
Yeah, very impressed with him. He's a beautiful horse. He's got a really big future. I think he's high quality. Every time he's sort of gone out, he's got better and better. And he felt great last week. And the draw is going to be pretty important next week. It's a very strong group of 3-year-olds, but he's got the tactical speed if he draws well to use it. So really excited. And he's definitely a horse that I reckon going to be in a lot of big races going forward in his career.
Bit of a buzz driving one for John Hawkes.
Yeah, it is. I was quite good friends with Tyler Schiller, and he told me he was very, very happy with the way that horse has been racing, and him and the family are probably going to come up and watch him in the Derby and watch Leap the Fame. So that would be pretty cool to be able to drive for him and meet all of them. And very, very grateful for Jeff and John and the team to trust me with driving him.
Mate, you're obviously doing plenty of kilometres at the moment. How are you holding up doing all the travel between race meetings? Is it just something you've got to do as a professional driver?
Yeah, I enjoy it, Greg. The only thing I've ever really wanted to do is drive horses, and just love being able to do it. And it's like any job, you have your good and bad days. Don't get me wrong, but I'm very grateful for the opportunities I get from a lot of great trainers and owners, and I'll try to repay them as much as I can, and I do appreciate it. So I'm pretty happy to do as many Ks as I can and get as many tracks as I can, and it helps when you can get on the good ones, that's for sure.
So yesterday you went to Wagga, or Friday you went to Wagga, you drove 4 second placings, but you got a couple of winners. So what do you do? As soon as the meeting's over, get in the car, drive home and get ready for the trip to Queensland?
Yeah, pretty well. Got home at about 9:45, which wasn't too bad, and packed me bags for today, and went out to Menangle this morning and worked a couple, and then jumped on a plane at midday. So it's very, very busy, but I wouldn't change it.
And I'm assuming back in Sydney this week, doing all the driving as per usual, and you'll do the same thing, fly up again in time for next Saturday night.
Yeah, I think so. I think I got another pretty busy week with Menangle and Bathurst and Penrith and so forth. So I'll just see whether I go back to Wagga on Friday or not. But hopefully I'll be up here in plenty of time and try and have a good preparation into the big races.
Well, mate, good to see you getting a drive in 3 of the main races there next Saturday night. All the best of luck.
Thanks, Hazy. Thanks for having me on.
There at the top of the lane, Loucasso, and he is in full throttle. He leads the way now. Peeling to the outside is Ark Sea. They've dashed away from Pure Grunt, then a Tour Magic. Loucasso in front. Loucasso takes the Protostar. Loucasso, Ark Sea, a Tour Magic third, Pure Grunt fourth.
Well, I was surprised last night, all the celebrations at the Protostar and seeing Loucasso win. No, Jamie Durnberger-Smith from Summit Bloodstock. He is the face. He's the man. He wasn't there. But I've got no doubt he was celebrating very hard, and he's joining me to have a chat. Hey, Jamie, how are you?
Hey, Havey. Thank you for having me on, mate.
No problems at all. Mate, what a big night. Again, another feature race for the team, Aaron Bain Racing and Summit Bloodstock. You've got to be happy with how everything's going at the moment.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Unfortunately, I was stuck at home with glandular fever, knocked me around a bit. But for our team to all head up there was, I think, 650 of our guys there, and they partied really, really hard. I've got messages here 4 a.m. They absolutely loved it.
Mate, fantastic story. These slot races, they're getting bigger and bigger in Australia, and it seems to be the way of the future.
It is 100% the way of the future. Big juvenile slot races. When you go to the yearling sales, you hunt for next year. Next year is when you want to win your money back or have your chance to be able to win a big race. So having these juvenile slot races makes life a hell of a lot easier for us when it comes to getting people into these horses and bums on seats. And when it comes to getting the thoroughbred guys over to harness racing, this is it. If we go down this route, this game will go absolutely crazy.
So are you mindful of that then when you go to the yearling sales now, that you're looking for one that can return you something within that, as a 2-year-old and bank some big dollars?
Yeah, well, my business partners, Jake Webster and Aaron Bain, from the year before, I got yelled at a lot for buying horses that needed some time. So the plan is we go to the yearling sales, Jamie, find the horses that don't need time, that are going to go early. And Loucasso, I was having a look at the notes last night. We said to go to 80K, and he was Spirit of St. Louis 2.0. So it worked out.
Now, he was one of the 18 yearlings you bought in 2024, and plenty, people could have easily bought into all of those or some of those, and I've got no doubt you would have introduced some new people to the sport of harness racing as a result of the way you set up these 18 yearlings that are now 2-year-olds.
Yeah, most definitely. For us, it was a lot of high pressure on this crop because we've got commitment from everyone in the group to constantly buy every year. Ron Burke, Mark Weaver, Larry Carr, Phil Chalora, Mike Buscemi, Jeff Berger, they're all American clients, and obviously Ron Burke's the biggest in the world. And we sent them our ROI data of what we'd done with the previous yearlings, and they liked it, and they committed to buying in. So, yeah, it was high pressure, and for it to bring those guys and for the Americans to spend their money on our yearlings, knowing that there's big juvenile racing, yeah, this is it, man. This is it. This is a big night for harness racing in general, for getting bums on seats. So we're so ecstatic.
So how do you get these big guys from America, the guys that have got the money, the men you're mentioning? How do you get contacts with them to get them involved?
So basically, this starts with just networking, and we travel to America a lot. It's just talking to people, and we had to do it ourselves. We had to put our money where our mouth is when we started buying a few yearlings. Bought one in New Zealand a couple of years ago, and it was Coastal Babe. Just follow our system, and then be able to create a spreadsheet of data to show that we actually, when we do this, we actually make it viable, and you can make money and you can have a hell of a lot of fun. And that's what we've used, is that prior data of us, exactly what we've done, to be able to then get these people to come on board. And that's our plan, to keep doing this and keep trying to drag the thoroughbred guys over, the overseas clients, because we have the greatest product. Harness racing is the greatest product. And our horses, unlike the thoroughbreds, which we are in the thoroughbreds also, but unlike them, our horses can race 20, 30 times a year. So, yeah, for us, and for everyone involved, this is just a dream.
But it wasn't a closed shop. Like, people could have gone on the website and bought into these group of horses. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%. We had a lot of people that we'd never owned a horse before that took 0.1%. But it's not about the percent that you own. I remember owning 2.5% of Arms of an Angel, and when she come down that straight in front of Miracle Mile Day, oh, that feeling, just percent means nothing. It's just having ownership and trying to experience this feeling, and to give those guys that feeling last night. I had messages from people, and I know myself, because it was such high pressure for myself because I'm making people commit a lot of money. Like, I literally dropped to the ground, bawling my eyes out. I haven't felt that feeling since 2016 when the Scotty Spirit won the VRC Oaks. So for all the team involved, man, boy, oh boy.
And to put a price, like, I think there was 18 yearlings. You spent just over $1 million. So for 1%, you were looking at just over 10,300. So for those 0.1% owners, they've outlaid, $1,000, and all of a sudden they're competing in these massive races like the Protostar and enjoying the ride of winning a fantastic race.
Yeah, that's it. And we have to give, I have to give kudos to the sales companies. All the sales companies have been great. Like, when it comes to syndicating, the harness racing sales companies are not used to this. So, like, things become slow, and they understand that we don't want to put pressure on the owners. Like, it might only seem like $10,000 for 1%, but we allow the clients to pay it off over time. So then there's no pressure. We don't want to create pressure in a sport where we're trying to make them love it. So, yeah, everything works fantastic, and we're getting there, and I'm sure we're just going to keep growing each year. We bought 30 yearlings this year. The year before, so the 2-year-old crop is 22 yearlings, because we did buy some Kiwi ones. So everyone's involved in them, and we'll just keep growing each year. And then, eventually we'll go a bit heavier in the trotters. That's one thing that we're really getting involved in. We're now managing Volstead, so he's coming down. So, yeah, everything's just going perfect.
But for that price entry point, it becomes a chance for a pub syndicate, or let's throw in and buy a micro share in these 18 horses or 20 horses or however many horses you've got, and they can enjoy the ride. So this isn't just opening it up to single people. It becomes a chance for syndicates to get involved. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, even like we've got. Even there is literally 0.1% share in all those 2-year-olds and the yearlings this year, and it's divided into 5 people. So they only had to put in a couple of $100 each, but it's the same feeling.
Yep.
And that has been our game plan all along, is to go to AFL clubs, to footy clubs, to pubs and clubs, to mums and dads, to get them to invest in our industry, and it's completely affordable. It's just whatever you can afford. That is it. Whatever you can afford, you can jump in.
Mate, what is the future for Loucasso? Will we see him? I saw an interview last night with Clayton. He's saying probably straight to the paddock, but he hadn't spoken with you guys yet. So is that the plan?
Yeah, well, Emma and Clayton know that they are the boss. They just tell us what happens, and that's the beauty of the relationship that we have with them. We never annoy them. Oh, I probably annoy them, but we never annoy them into doing things that they don't want to do. Like, they're the trainer. We pay them to train. We won't bother them. When we get to the races, let's just win. That's the result that we want. So, yeah, for him, he'll head to the paddock now. And we'll see what announcements there are throughout the year. There are talks of other announcements for juvenile racing. So if that comes to fruition, we'll map his campaign over that. But for now, paddock.
Mate, what's the latest with your slot in the Eureka? Have you guys got closer to naming who's going to run for you this year?
I would say the answer is probably no. We always like to wait really late. We've said it multiple times before. It's just we've noticed that everyone goes so early and it ends up biting you in the bum. So for us, we just like to wait really, really late, see what all options are on the table. If we really, really, really love one and we think it's an absolute standout and we're going to win it, then we will go hard on them. But it's got to be a complete standout. And for us this year, it's very, very even, this race. Watson jumped in and grabbed Bay of Biscay, and he looks like he's the best one right now. So it'll be interesting to see where the rest of the next couple of months lies.
So in Cypher year 1, high above year 2. So first and third in the first 2 years. It'd be nice to get another good payday in year 3.
Yeah, that would be really, really nice. But that first year was absolutely incredible. That feeling, oh man, what a sport! Like that feeling, and to have all of our guys on track, and the atmosphere was unbelievable. Said it before, I'll say it again. This is the way of the future. We need to keep doing these big slot races, and if the boards find it hard to be able to create these big races, come to us. We will help in any conceivable way to get slot holders to buy slots, anything. But we have to keep going down this trajectory, because this is bringing people into the sport that haven't been in the sport for 30 years. So we're getting them back.
And just quickly, in terms, is your Eureka slot, is that tied to Emma and Clayton? Was that what you guys announced last year?
Yeah, so we let them figure it out. Another thing that we do, we pay them to do a job. We bought the Eureka slot. Our plan is that they select which runner is the best runner to fit in there, but we work together in this.
Yep.
But we want to stick with our camp. Obviously, almost all the yearlings, all the Australian yearlings, go to them. It's worked out fantastic, and we love them. So it's up to them to try to figure out this puzzle piece for us. But it has worked out sensationally so far. Like you said, first and third in the first 2 years.
Mate, love catching up with you. You just exude harness racing. It's just the love of the sport. It's always great to catch up. Congratulations on the big win last night, and good luck going forward.
Thank you, Hazy. Thank you for your time, mate.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Winning? Hey, that's pretty good.
Winner!
That was legitness.
To that I say, all right. Wow, winning.
Bam! Just like that. That's all there is to it, Dustin. That's all there is to it. A winner. Just like that.
And the winner is...
Mr. T got a $1.10 winner this week. Big bickies from him. So updating the leaderboard, Mr. T is now minus $74 and I am negative $52. So I've got a $22 lead and we are going dreadfully. Let's hope for a bit more luck this week. He's going to Bathurst Wednesday. Race 4, number 9, Baxter Red. Finished third at huge odds at Bathurst last week in the up to 80. First run for a couple of months, and Mr. T thinks it should strip fitter. Matt Rue jumps back on this week. That's a +2. So race 4, number 9, Baxter Red. And go race 5, number 2, Cheer for Mitch. Mitch Turnbull, Travis Bullock. Last win was back in January, but the recent form has been okay, and it has been around the mark. From the good draw, should be prominent, and Mr. T thinks it could go, or could be the way to go. Race 5, number 2. Now, my 2, Menangle Monday. Race 5, number 5, Just Homegrown. Over-raced in behind the leader at Bathurst, and then Cameron Fitzpatrick, he was in two minds whether to wait for the sprint lane or come around the leaders. He got caught, didn't go to the sprint lane, and then got caught up behind the front runner. Hard to tell how much it had left because it did over-race quite fiercely. It had been trialling the house down prior, so let's go with it. That's race 5, number 5, Just Homegrown. And race 6, number 2, she's a Warrawee. Jared Alchin and Cam Hart combined. Just missed last time in fast time. 3-year-old filly taking on the older horses, but she has speed, she's in form, and has a good overall record. Tick, tick, tick. Race 6, number 2, she's a Warrawee. Fantasy Harness Racing, 1 week to go. Round 24 is in the books. And we've got a change at the top of the leaderboard. Boilover has hit the front with a week to go. 18,897. Manning 90 is second on 18,877. So 20 points between those first two now. And Sir Jimmy's All-Stars in third. 18,592. 1 point ahead of What a Fill Up, 73. So What a Fill Up 73 is 1 point behind in third, or in fourth spot, 1 point behind third. And then it's only 18 points further back to 5th spot, Larry and Harry. Mayonnaise won round 24 with 920 points. Boil Over was second, and that's why we've seen the change at the top of the leaderboard on 897. Gatto third, 895. Next week, and it will all come down to captains and how many feature races the leaders can win. Full wrap-up next week, although the Sunday meeting at Launceston could decide it all. So when I tape the show next Sunday after the Inter-Dominion, that last meeting at Launceston will still be yet to run. So very interesting times in fantasy harness racing. That just about wraps up the podcast for today. Another long one, but there's so much to talk about in the sport at the moment. Thanks to Robbie Morris, Jamie Durnberger-Smith from Summit, and Will Rixon for joining me. Big night at Albion Park next Saturday night. Can't wait for it, but catch you next week.